Hey guys, 2017 number 2. Let's take a look at it. The question involves the design of a class that will be used to produce practice problems. So, the following study practice interface represents practice problems that can be used to study some subject. They're obviously speaking about mathematics, but they don't want to write it. Fine. This is an interface. These are two methods. Now remember that basically if you have an interface, you write the methods, and this is the only time we ever have semicolons at the end, okay? Now, if you implement, do you guys remember that? If you implement the interface, you must use both of these methods, and basically that's what's going to happen. All right. The mult practice class, I'm just going to call it multiple practice, or multiply rather. The multiply practice class is a study practice that produces multiplication practice problems. Okay, let's change this color. So this is a study practice. Great. Mult practice object is constructed with two integer values, first integer and initial second integer. The reason why they said it's initial second integer is because the first integer is going to stay constant and the second integer is going to change starting value from there, and it's going to increase. So the second value is going to increase for each additional practice problem. For example, mult practice object created with the call new mult practice 7-3 would be used to create the practice problem 7 times 3. Now that's a string. You're going to actually have to write the word times in there. But what you notice here is that the next one would say 7 times 4, 7 times 5. 7 stays constant in each case, but 3 increases to 4, 4 increases to 5, and so on. So in the mult practice class, the get problem method returns a string. So we can take a look at it right there. Let's erase this actually. Okay. This returns a string, and this is a void. Okay. The next problem method updates. So the get problem method returns a string in the format of first integer times second integer, and the next problem method updates the state of the mult practice object to represent the next practice problem. So it's basically going to take second plus plus, okay, because it's just going to go from 3 to 4 to 5. So let's just take a quick glance at this example here. So you're going to create this object of type study practice P1 equals new mult practice 7-3. Who knew that we can actually do this? Not me. So if you go to print it out, it says 7 times 3, first number, second number. If you press P1, if you type P1 dot next problem and then print it out, it'll say 4. If you do it again, it'll say 5, as long as you print it out, right? Not only that, that's what the get problem is, okay? So we have next problem, get problem, and so on. So here's the get problem, and here's the next problem. Remember that next problem increases it, get problem gives you the problem, okay? And so on. They give you another example here, and they say same thing, but it's P2 and it's 4 and 12. It says next problem, so that should say 4 times 13, which it does, and then it prints it out again. But because you never called next problem, it doesn't say 14. But now it's still at 13, 14, 15, print it out. Then it says 16, print it out. Okay? So that's pretty much it. You have these two methods in the interface. It says write the complete mult practice class. Okay? Your implementation must be consistent with the specifications and the given examples. So we're going to have to use these two. We're going to have to implement the study practice. So we got to write the mult practice class. So I just copied and pasted the answer, and we could just run through it. I think it's much easier than writing it because it won't all fit on the same line. So public class mult practice implements study practice. That gives you 1 point. Now you're going to have to pass through 2 parameters. That gives you your second point. These 2 parameters are going to be passed through this constructor here. So let's get Mult practice, okay? Int num1, int num2. Remind yourself that these guys here, num1 and num2, always end up on this side here, okay? First and second go here. Now this is an extra 2 points. Right there is 4 points. Great. Now we have to use the methods that are in the interface. So the first one is the get problem method, right? So the get problem, and remember what that does? It's going to say, it's going to first return a string. So it's going to say first, which refers back to this guy here, times. Second, you must put the times here, okay? And it's returning a string. And once that's done, that's all. And this next problem, remember, the first stays constant and the second only increases. It's a void because it's just changing its state. So nothing is being returned. And that's how you do the entire problem. That was for these two together, give you 5 for a total of 9 points. So I hope that was easy enough. Take your time and just look it over. Thank you.